Flint, Claressa the Quote Shields, she catches a body. Yup. She moved up to the heavyweight division in women's boxing, and she did this girl greasy. I'm going to give you my thoughts and kind of break down some other elements because as far as a fight, it wasn't much of a fight. Claressa Shields and the girl, I don't even remember the girl's name, but based on what I've seen, I don't really need to remember her name. I'm just being real. Claressa Shields was moving up to the heavyweight division, and she was fighting a heavyweight champion. Many people believed that Claressa Shields could be tested in this particular fight. That was not the case. In fact, earlier today, you have Alicia Baumgardner, who, has had a rivalry with Claressa Shields. And even though she didn't put a name on it, she says, and I quote, "It's giving upsets tonight with the eyes looking." Everybody knows Claressa Shields was fighting tonight. And since that's a rival, most people believe that even though she didn't put the name on it, that the heavyweight division was possibly a bridge too far because she was fighting a much bigger girl. Someone even says, "You a hater, you really wished." W hater, that's your way of being petty, etc., etc. So I know I'm not the only one in thinking that that dart was a subliminal to Claressa Shields. Now, again, there's not much to break down. It ended in the second round, knockout by Claressa Shields, which we'll get to. In the first round, both fighters kind of came with their hands up. They were both, for the first 30, 40 seconds, they were both kind of tentative. And I respected that because Claressa Shields, she's in a new division. You don't want to overextend yourself and get caught with something and then you rocked, because they did say that this chick she was fighting, not only was she a heavyweight champion, but she had different things happen in her life and some traumas and different things. But long story short, the chick was at one point in time 300 and something pounds and has even competed in like the mid 200s. So I don't know what Claressa Shields weighs, but I know she wasn't weighing that much at the weigh-in. So at the end of the day, you're dealing with somebody who at one point their frame was 300 plus pounds. That's pretty big, right? Given the heights and whatnot. I don't know if it was 300 pound of muscle or whatever, but still a person whose frame was doing that. And then, came back and had a kind of rags to riches story. They were like, oh, they could make a movie about her opponent's life. So Claressa Shields was very cautious, didn't want to get caught with anything, seeing what the girl was working with. But the girl was a bit slower than Claressa Shields, I want to say. And I don't really know how it even transpired, but Claressa Shields found an opening and then she kind of jumped on her towards the end of round one. And it looked like a typical Claressa Shields fight in the smaller divisions. To be honest, it looked like the early rounds with Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall. So I didn't see any level of fear. And I'm not saying you're supposed to see fear, but there was none. Outside of coming out a little cautious and respectable in the first 45 seconds or whatever, soon as Claressa Shields found her opening, she went kind of for the kill. But then the round ended, and then she really just picked up where she left off. This is when she caught her. Now, one thing I think is slept on is Claressa Shields. She's the most skilled female fighter around, bar none. Like, the way she was slipping shots and set up the knockout was pretty slick. She was on the ropes. She's with John David Jackson, former fighter who fought Bernard Hopkins. And she was off the ropes and she was looking kind of sweet off the ropes. And then she kind of bounced off the ropes, caught her with a short shot. Down goes the opponent. Claressa Shields is, when she smells blood, she's just going to pile on the punishment. And you really could have made a case to stop the fight. The legs on the girl didn't look good. I mean, she was showing heart. credit to her. But I mean, look at her. She just looked defenseless. It looked like almost a gross mismatch despite her being a champion. She looked like she didn't know what hit her. She even fell funny, you know? Credit to her for showing heart. Claressa Shields put her punches together. The corner of the other girl, they were on the apron and they were ready to stop it. The ref allowed it to continue. And then I believe it was a third knockdown. Guo wins. Fight over. Really, I'm not going to say, because I know Claressa Shields works hard and she's training hard and student of the game and stuff, but it looked effortless. I'm not saying what went into having that performance was effortless, but she made it look easy. It looked like the girl was not on her level at all. The Savannah Marshall fight at a lighter division was definitely tougher than this. In fact, I'm going to take it a step further. That stud, I know y'all watch my videos and I made a video about it, but that stud or whatever that came in Claressa Shields' gym trolling, that stud did better than this heavyweight champion. And I put that on Twitter and I put that on anything. That's from what I seen, because the stud was talking spicy and, you know, was ill-equipped and was getting wailed on, but she was still talking, looked like she wanted to go. People kind of broke it up. So I need to see the Guo versus the stud again, because that was at least looking like it was going to be more competitive. This just wasn't. It looked like she was about to snap her leg and she hit the Tootsie Roll and the Chris Brown. It was just da 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 bum bum bum. Looked like she was doing one of them. She looked like she was doing one of them TikTok dances or something. Ba 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 da 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 da. I mean, I don't even know what else y'all want to say. Now, listen, we got to give Claressa Shields credit for a few things. I mean, people question her power throughout her career. Like, oh, you don't got that many knockouts. But she's doing something to these chicks because people ain't just rushing her, right? And this is the outcome at heavyweight. So having less of a cut, feeling herself, you know, maybe this weight class is something she can do. But it's undecided at this point. She says she has to get with her team to decide, does she go back down? Does she stay at heavyweight? You know, what's next? But if you're running through a heavyweight champion, the depth of the division, the way that looked, I don't know if there's a heavyweight champion that's more dangerous than this chick, because this chick was supposed to be past life or whatever they were saying, 300 pounds and supposed to be a big puncher. Again, Alicia Baumgardner talking about, I smell an upset. I mean, it didn't even come close. So Claressa Shields definitely looked good at the division with the extra weight, and the girl was no match for her. It looked like a mismatch for real, you know? So Claressa Shields moves on. People, again, they're questioning her power, but she moved all the way up to heavyweight and got it rocking in front of a hometown crowd. And the crowd was, they were chanting, whoop that trick, and they were all in. So it looks like she definitely has a market out there. And with an exciting performance in the guts she shows, the dogged mentality, you know, she's looking like the best, one of the best boxers, especially women's boxing and stuff like that. Now, let me explain this to you. This is what people are talking about when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. I'm being so real with you. Claressa Shields, her fight was fun. It was a fun fight. It didn't last long, but it was a fun fight. And I think it's a mentality thing. Claressa Shields, she's just a warrior and she's a dog. That's why they made a movie about her that they were saying on the telecast. But she's rugged, she's a dog, and it's a mentality thing. She has the mentality when she smells blood, she's always trying to prove herself. I feel like that's probably what got her the gold medals. I mean, you could ask her. But she's never lost that. She's never lost that competitive streak. When dudes talk crazy to her, you know, she wants to fight the dudes. I mean, that's just who she is. She comes from that Flint. They didn't even have good water. They probably still don't have good water. So she come from the trenches and she's made something of herself. And she has a mentality. Shakur Stevenson, he does the barking and he's like, yo, I'm going to get a knockout and Artem's not on my level. This is what you're supposed to do if somebody's not on your level. not necessarily knock them out, because not everyone's going to be knocked out. Everybody knows that. But you could still have an eventful fight. And, you know, credit to Claressa Shields. She's always challenged herself, from going to the PFL to Olympic Games. And what she's done is almost unheard of, where she went down in weight. She was at this weight and then kept going down in weight to pursue more and more challenges. And then she cleared house in like undisputed multiple times and was beating everybody ass. So then she went up in weight to heavyweight and then just rocked out a heavyweight champion and made it look easy. I mean, even in men's boxing, I know, and I'm not saying anything, but the depth in men's boxing is clearly different levels of competition. But I'm just saying that's still would be hard to do, to move down and up and, you know, flex your weight for anybody. Like, you're going down in weight and making more of a sacrifice to fight these chicks, and then you go back up in weight, and then you go back up to heavyweight. I mean, you're doing everything you can to show your greatness. You got to respect it. You know, I know Claressa Shields, people be hating for whatever reason, but you got to respect it. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing. This girl is supposed to be good, and she went out there and waxed her and got to stop it, silenced the critics. Shakur Stevenson, like I said, he fighting against Artem, and he's having his way in winning, but that switch, that kill switch, he don't really have that. So it don't really match the talk. Claressa Shields doesn't even talk as much as Shakur, you know, in terms of what she's going to do, but she delivers, and she delivers the performances that she needs. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, I don't even know where Claressa Shields goes from here, but a fight people were looking forward to was Alicia Baumgardner. I mentioned her earlier in this video. I don't really see that fight happening. Reason being is she's all the way at heavyweight, and Bill Haney, who was working with Alicia Baumgardner and Baumgardner, they were telling Claressa Shields to go back down in weight. So even though I just talked about Claressa flexing her weight, that's doing a lot. To go all the way up to heavyweight, and then, like, Claressa, I think she's already said and been on record saying she can't make 140 or whatever Bill Haney and Baumgardner were telling her to make. So if she's saying that then, and then she just fought at heavyweight and looked good and felt herself, and the power looked good at heavyweight, then why would she, being the GOAT, being the more accomplished person, not having failed a drug test, why would she ever move back down that low? So at best, Alicia Baumgardner, if she really wanted to fight, I would imagine she's going to have to see Claressa at a division, with Claressa being the A side, at a division where Claressa feels nice and comfortable. And that's what happens. You've seen it with Canelo. Canelo, he like, I'm the man and I'm the undisputed guy at 168. Jermell Charlo, you want this work, you want this opportunity, you move up 2 divisions. Whether people like it or it's a good fight or not, you got to fight the people that are the A side and more accomplished really on their terms. And that's why I think maybe we never get the Claressa Shields and Baumgardner fight, because of the weight. I mean, what weight would it even happen? Because Claressa Shields already said she can't. Eddie Hearn was trying to, like, because he works with Baumgardner, he was like trying to finesse Claressa Shields, like, oh, what weight can you make, mate? And she's like, I can't go down that far. I could do this weight, and that's that. So again, moving up to heavyweight, they're moving further and further apart. And I don't think Baumgardner wants to move up anywhere close to where Claressa Shields is planning on maybe competing. I mean, this is a lot of speculation, so we'll leave it at that. But great fight with the names, but I don't think Baumgardner would be willing to fight at the weights required to fight Claressa. But back to the performance, you know, she get an A-grade performance, moved up in weight, made it look easy. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. She got legendary pictures, entertained her crowd, came out with the ring walk, you know, good vibes. You know, it was a good little independent production with Dimitri Salita. So it is what it is. Shout out to the GOAT.